Hello there, YouTubers. It is I, Omki or Excalibur here, bringing you finally and hopefully the undisturbed and unhindered night class on Deadpool. Now I know I've been promising this for a very long time, and I promise it every time, and then something happens, but I'm hopefully this time there will be nothing that will hinder this night class. Now, Wade Wilson had a very interesting past, not only in the storyline, but also in the comic books. Now, Wade Wilson was originally created by the same person that created Cable and a lot of other comics we won't go into, because they're bad. Now, originally, Deadpool was your blatant generic knockoff of Slade or Deathstroke, the Terminator. Yeah, he was really dark and had a really dark past and liked to solve all of his problems with guns, which was a real trend during the 90s. So, yeah, he wasn't really that great of a character, and honestly, I didn't like him for many years due to the fact of him being, yeah, I like guns. I'm a 90s character. It wasn't until later on that they decided to take a new direction with Deadpool and made him a comical character. Which, once I found that out, started reading his books, I fell in love with the guy, like many other people did. Now, again, he is sort of, he did start off, or a good chunk of his 90s career as blatant Deathstroke, the Terminator knockoff. But we're gonna concentrate on his backstory now. So, just by the way, for all those people who've wondered, yes, Deathstroke and Deadpool have met each other, and it caused some of the most hilarious moments in comic book history, I think. Especially when Deathstroke keeps trying to kill him, and Deadpool keeps living, and then Deathstroke says, "Why won't you just die?" And Deadpool's response is, "Why do you hate yourself so much?" Yeah, anyways. So, let's just dive in right here and right now. Now, Wade Wilson had a very tragic past, and again, this is back when he was this, Deathstroke knockoff, which he was. His mother died, and then his father was killed by his best friend in a bar fight. Wade is then diagnosed with cancer, and there's nothing he can do. About this time, he says screw it, and he joins the military as an assassin, and he is paid to kill a sumo wrestler's boss. And for a while, he does sumo wrestling. But he falls in love with the boss's daughter and doesn't kill him. Leaves in disgrace, and again, he gets rechecked to see about his, cancer. Still nothing they can do. And about this time, he's dating a girl named Copycat, who is a mutant. Her mutant ability is that she can, well, kind of like Mystique, she changes into different people, but unlike Mystique, she can actually use their powers. So, yeah. Anyway, so he leaves her and joins the Weapon X program. Because they said that it's like, hey, if you allow us to experiment on you, we'll cure your cancer. And he was like, well, I got nothing to lose. So he then becomes an experiment. They experiment with him, and they give him Wolverine's healing factor, but in a very special and different way. Essentially, his cells are always reproducing themselves to keep up with the cancer that is killing him. So, yeah, later on this becomes really important, just FYI. And so he joins the Weapon X program as part of their team. He is then kicked off the team because he kills a member. I think his name was Saberback or something like that. It was kind of, the character was stupid and it's a throwaway character. And he is then put into pretty much a concentration camp for failed Weapon X experiments, which was where they had them battle each other to the death, which was called the Deadpool. You're starting to see where he got his name from now, don't you? Anyways, there was a scientist who, well, scientist assistant who was a sadist and would love to torture and maim his victims. Now, another thing I would also like to point out is that at this point, Deadpool starts having a relationship with death. I'm not making this up. Again, this is with the whole 90s I'm badass with guns motif. I really wish you were alcohol right now. Any case, so essentially Deadpool is asking Death to take him. She says no. And he pretty much gets into a situation where he has to kill one of his friends. And Deadpool gets really pissed off and then escapes with a bunch of others and supposedly kills a bunch of other people in the process. And then he thus takes the name Deadpool in honor of all the people that died. Now, again, this is part of his history where he is, and pretty soon after this, he is different. And there's one thing I did forget to mention. When he supposedly died when his heart was cut out, but due to the fact of his healing factor being so much different than Wolverine's, he actually grows back a heart. And the way they end, now everyone knows my opinion on Wolverine and how I think that he's overpowered and whatnot with his healing factor. And there's been a lot of times where he didn't die, but he really should have. With Deadpool, it's a little bit different because Deadpool's, healing factor was actually designed to do things like this. It was actually designed to regrow cells and organs and things like that have been damaged by cancer. I mean, Deadpool can literally have his arm cut off, take his arm and put it back on, and the tissues that connect it to the severed limb will regrow. So I'm not against this whatsoever. In any case, so I'm going to be right back with part 2 here in a second. Take it easy, guys.